So I think we feel it too when we're afraid of not belonging.
Yeah.
When we're not doing something right or we're not being something right. Somehow we're not conforming to some expectation that we think is a requirement for belonging.
Yeah.
Then we start worrying like something's wrong with me because I'm not like everyone else.
Welcome to More Than Small Talk. We're Susie Eller,
Jennifer Watson,
and Holly Girth, writers and real life friends. We're inviting you to go deeper, become freer, and feel more connected.
So imagine you have a cup of coffee, a mug of tea, or a green smoothie in your hand,
and we're all hanging out in your favorite place together.
Welcome back. We're continuing our little mini series that we are going through things we often think but don't always say out loud. And last week we talked about I don't want to be angry, but I am. I thought that was a really helpful episode. So if you missed it, circle back. And this week we are talking about I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah. So here's a confession question. Have you ever said this to yourself? And if you have, why? And I'm asking this question after we've just had an in-studio, beautiful conversation. So we're all a little tender. I'm just going to say that up front. But that's what happens when we ask these questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that I've asked a lot. But what I've realized is you ask yourself that, like, what's wrong with me? Sometimes when you're around people that make you feel like there's something wrong with you, and then all of a sudden, like, you become confident and you kind of get your footing back and you go, oh, there's absolutely nothing wrong with me.
I love that.
But there's also the side of me that has always been a little dramatic. And, I would have a tight ponytail in and be like, I have a headache and it's probably a tumor. And so like I do that. So that's the awkward me coming out. My doctors have said, please don't get on WebD anymore. When I was pregnant with my girls, because he was like, please stay off of that. Like you're not qualified. And it's because we can worry about things. So yes, for many reasons, I've asked that about myself.
Well, and I think that's important, Jennifer, is there's a lot of reasons we might say this and be typing it in onto Google or wherever. It could be, I don't know what's wrong with me, might be like we talked about last time, I'm angry all the time.
Yeah.
Or I just can't get this. I keep trying this. What's wrong with me? There's a lot of reasons. So I think asking that question is good.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, a teen, and I asked this question probably a lot, not consciously, but subconsciously. Why can't I gain weight? I was so thin. I was E.T. thin. We've talked about this. My arms were longer than my body. They just drug behind me. And, what's wrong with me? Why can't I be like other people? Or why do I get so tongue-tied when I try to talk to someone? Why can't I just put out a sentence? Those things resolved over time. So, yes, I've asked myself this question, and as an adult, just started looking at the root of it instead. What am I really asking?
Yeah. So I had a thought. We often have thoughts we've never had before in the middle of the podcast. So I'm going to try one out. We just said that just because you say something out loud doesn't mean you believe it's true. So what if we say, I don't know what's wrong with me, because we feel like we're not allowed to say there's something wrong with you?
Okay. Let's explore that.
Like, especially as women, we are taught, be nice, don't be critical, don't be judgmental. Like, make sure everybody's okay. Don't hurt anybody's feelings. So if someone in our lives is making unfortunate choices and we are in the impact zone and we don't feel like we're able to say, these are your choices, these are your consequences, I'm in the impact zone.
Yeah.
It's natural to turn toward ourselves and say, I don't know what's wrong with me. Something must be wrong with me because I can't fix this. But the reality is, you can't fix the other person. That's what's actually wrong.
Yeah.
And I think I've done that, like in situations where I've felt powerless over someone else's choices and their impact in my life. I have said, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because if I were perfect, I would be able to make this okay. And I can't. So I must be missing something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think you're getting to the root of it. So I don't know what's wrong with me is a blaming thing. I'm blaming myself. But if we say, well, I'm going to explore what's wrong with me. And right now, I feel really embarrassed because I wasn't able to hold that conversation like I wanted to. Maybe there's an area here of growth and it's not embarrassing. It's just I'm still growing as a human.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what's wrong with me because I feel like I'm all over the map. Well, I'm on the other side of a person who's dragging me into a place of hurt and their actions are impacting me. So that's something I can look at a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm. I think pausing and asking, like, what's really going on here? Like the answer might be something hurts, something needs attention.
Yeah.
Someone's choices are impacting me. I'm really tired.
Yes.
It's been a tough week. Pausing and just saying, like, doesn't have to mean that something is wrong with me, that something feels wrong in my life.
Yeah.
Like it's not automatically me. So what is going on and what do I really need in this moment?
Right. That's good. So it's moving from blame to introspection, I think. And again, I talk a lot about making space. And the reason I do that is I grew up not being able to have space.
Yeah.
And so this was something huge in my life to be able to say, I am worth taking a few moments to put this in front of me and say, what in the world is going on in my heart right now? Why am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, I don't know, I'm just thinking about all of the people that type that in. You know, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think that we live in a really broken world. And a lot of us are deep feelers. Holly talks about this, the highly sensitive person, which I am. Like we were meant to feel things, but that means we feel everything. And I think that that's heavy. It's heavy to carry that. It's heavy to watch the news and not feel like there's something wrong with all of us, you know, like what's wrong. And I just think that there's times that we're living in a broken world with all of these toxic things happening, and it's really impossible for it to not affect us.
I was walking with a friend the other day, and her name is Mary Alice. I will share with her that I talked about her on the podcast because she's a lovely friend. But she grew up not being able to see as well as she wanted to, so she had to wear glasses. She got made fun of, and she was talking about how that kind of made her perception about her whole self, asking what's wrong with me, not just her eyesight, but her whole self. And about a year ago, she was looking into the mirror for something, brushing hair out of her eyes or something. And she felt the Holy Spirit say, stay here. Look into the mirror. And I'm going to get weepy. Mary Alice, you are beautiful to me. And she says that God just forcing her to look into the mirror and say, you have always been beautiful to me. And she said, I go by the mirror now and I'm like, I'm beautiful. But it was like, and she's a little older than I am, and she's actually my yoga teacher. She's very flexible.
She's very bendy.
She's very bendy. She's incredibly empathetic and kind. And I just thought how beautiful that, you know, somebody had judged her on her outer something she couldn't fix on her own. And the Lord asked her to pause and see herself through his eyes, which is there's nothing wrong with you. Haven't you ever had that if somebody's ever said something about like your child?
Oh, yeah.
And our heads want to spin around and green slime come out of us. Like it'd be like, there is nothing wrong with my child. They are perfect. And I feel like that's what happened in that moment. It was like all the things she was carrying that other people had put on her that made her feel like something was wrong with her. He's like, no, look through my eyes.
Yeah. And I love that shift in voice because I think so many of us have kind of we call it our inner critic, but I also think of it as our inner accuser.
Yeah. Inner mean girl.
Yeah, inner accuser. And we see that in the spiritual realm too, right? We have an accuser and an advocate.
Yeah.
And so to align our inner voice with that means we shift from being accusers of ourselves to advocates for ourselves, which just means aligning with the truth about what God says about who we are. But I love that she made that shift. And
it was beautiful.
Yeah. And we all have parts of ourselves like that, right?
Yeah,
For me, a long time, it was being an introvert.
Yeah.
I would be with a bunch of extroverts or somewhere that I thought should be fun and was not fun for me. You know? And I would be like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Everyone else loves, whatever it is.
Sure.
And I'm supposed to. So I think we feel it too when we're afraid of not belonging.
Yeah.
When we're not doing something right or we're not being something right. Somehow we're not conforming to some expectation that we think is a requirement for belonging.
Yeah.
Then we start worrying like something's wrong with me because I'm not like everyone else.
Yeah.
So I think that's another scenario where it can come up for us.
I agree. Yeah. We all have strengths.
Yeah.
I have 6 grandchildren. And since they were little, we do it started out as a day when they were like 18 months old, 2 years. And now for many years, it's been a whole weekend. That's just their day, their weekend, their day. And what has been beautiful about that is out of these 6 humans that God has given in my life, they are all so different.
Yeah.
And while one, man, she wants party. She wants action. She wants energy. I literally, whenever that weekend is over, it's so beautiful and fun. But I'm like, where's my nap?
Yeah.
But then I have another that's an introvert that wants downtime and, just to be quiet and to do things that are introspective. And they're all so different. So we're all so different.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's part of it too? Is there's just this pressure to be like everybody else or to conform in some way?
Yeah. I feel like there's always pressure to be something other than what we actually are.
Yeah.
And that's where you unravel that and go, no, I'm an introvert, but that means I see people. And, like I can be social. I have a timer. And like when my timer goes off, I'm out the door, and that's fine too. So I don't know. I don't know why it is. It's like the girls that have this gorgeous curly hair and they want straight hair. And you're looking at them going, I would give anything to have that.
Yeah.
It's like we don't realize our worth and our value. And I think that that's really important. The one reason why we've got to echo that for people and say, no, you're beautiful. Like you're smart, you're gifted, you're, all the things that they kind of forget when they're feeling insecure. Like, let's remind them because we have to do that for ourselves too, right?
Yeah. We're continually growing.
Yeah.
And we're different.
And that's a good thing.
I went to a cooking class this week. And I mean, just looking at Jennifer, she'd be like, no, thank you.
I'd like to go
Would
and
you
eat.
like to? Well,
Jennifer and I will eat what you make.
So
I'll be the taste tester.
I went to a cooking class and it was how to make macarons, which are those light, fluffy.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I sent a message to about 8 of my friends that I walk with. And I was like, who wants to go? Crickets. Like it was so silent. And we talked about it the next day and I said, does nobody want to go? And they're like, Susie, we hate cooking. We're tired of cooking. We've cooked our whole life. Do we want to go pay money to learn how to cook more? No. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't offended by that because this is the thing is I also sent out an invitation one day and we went to a park and went hiking and had so much fun. But giving room for us to be different from everybody else around us, I think is really key.
Yeah.
The macarons were okay. Just so you know, it's really hard.
That's really hard. Like if it's ever baking, like I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's a casserole, no, I'm out.
See, I didn't send it out to this friend group.
Yes.
Next time I'm sending it out to this friend group.
I want to learn it.
I just sent it out to the wrong people.
And I think historically, like belonging with the other humans has been necessary for survival. So our brains are wired
Yes.
physically to be like, we experience social threat in similar ways to physical threat.
Yeah.
So if we can even say to ourselves, like, all right, this is not the jungle. Like, my people don't want to make
They're not going to kill
macarons.
me.
They're not going to,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
So, because our brain all of a sudden is like, we are on Survivor. We are going to get voted off the island.
Yeah.
It's like,
Here I am, a
we're going to
macaron
die.
maker.
Like, so even just kind of saying like, okay, fine, this is a human response. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks
Yeah.
this sometimes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then, so what do we replace it with? Like, you're saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, do we say, here's one thing that's right with me? Like, what do we do with that? Or like we said, get curious about it is one thing. Get curious and compassionate.
Yeah.
Normalize it. Say this is
Yeah.
something humans do.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. It's universal.
Yeah.
Right.
And then what? Like, is there something else we say to ourselves?
Well, I think that the more that we accept ourselves, the more freely we can accept others. So I didn't take offense about the macaron.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, they don't like cooking. That's fine. We'll do something different.
Mhm.
But I do think that it's being able to, for example, I really struggled to talk to people when I was younger.
Mhm.
And that was, there's probably some deep roots there. I can talk to anybody now. I love talking to people. In fact,
Yeah.
I feel very at home. Like when I travel and speak or I go, I love learning about people's stories. There was a bit of a learning curve there for me, and there were some roots behind that. That's not a condemnation. That's an invitation
Yeah.
to maybe grow in an area. So that's one thing, is to say, is this maybe an invitation to just grow a little bit in this area? Okay, that's human. We
Yeah.
continually grow
Yeah.
until the day that we go to heaven.
Mhm.
There's never a point, unless you want to live stagnant, that you stop growing.
Yeah. I wonder too if we say like, I'm allowed to be imperfect. I'm allowed to be
100%. I'm so
unique.
imperfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm allowed to be in progress.
Yes.
I'm allowed to be not okay all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm allowed to whatever, not
like to
enjoy
make macarons.
parties with 10,000 people, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I'm allowed to, because there's something we're trying to fix about ourselves or that we
Yeah.
think we
Yeah.
need to be doing better. So
Yeah.
maybe permission.
Yeah.
So curiosity,
Mhm.
compassion, and then permission.
I will say the class ended at almost like 10.
Yeah.
So I would have lost, I almost lost myself in that. I was like, I'm so tired. You know, but yeah, I think that's good, Holly. What about you, Jennifer?
I mean, just thinking about this past season of my life and even just like writing my second book, I felt like for a long period of my life, I absolutely thought that there was something wrong with me. And, maybe I could take an antidepressant or maybe I could do this. And, maybe I could just try really hard to fix that. And I just realized that the spice, the things that are different about me, the fact that I can get ditzy, I used to like try to cover that up. Now it's material. It's just like laughing at yourself. And I just feel like we do so much better than we think, and that there's nothing wrong with us. We just might be different, and that's good.
Yeah.
It's just spices. You don't want to eat the same food all the time and have the same spice.
No.
Like, we bring flavor by our uniqueness.
See, that's appealing to the cook in me.
Yeah. I mean, like, right?
Food metaphors.
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to speak Susie's language here. No.
Well, I mean, honestly,
No,
that is the
honestly,
thing.
but,
Listen,
like, no, you're like, we're spicy.
you can look in a spice cabinet, and if somebody has just salt and pepper and seasoning salt, that's sad for me.
Yeah.
Because I've got 4 layers of all, I've
Yeah.
got bacon flavored sea salt. I've got
Whoa.
Fiesta Chipotle chili. There's a
Nice.
lot of spices out there
Yeah.
that are pretty cool when you start playing with them. So seeing that as you just might be bacon flavored sea salt. And let me tell
Wow.
you,
Yeah.
it's pretty wonderful when you put it in certain foods. So
Yeah.
you're needed.
Yes. And Jennifer, I think your book title is a perfect response of this. I don't know
Yeah.
what's wrong with me. What if you're doing better than you think?
What if there's nothing wrong with you and you just need to give yourself a
Yes.
break?
So shameless plug for Jennifer's book.
Shameless plug
Go
just
get a
for
copy.
anybody. Oh, yeah. I mean, just the whole process for me was a major breakthrough in going, there's absolutely nothing wrong. But like, this is how I want to live my life. What can I do to like be easier on myself. So if you're hard on yourself, my book is for you.
And that's it for today's episode. Thanks for going deeper, becoming freer, and connecting with us. More Than Small Talk is a part of the KLRC Podcast Network and is produced by Kara Culver. Show notes and resources are available on the More Than Small Talk page on klrc.com. You can also join us in our Facebook group. Subscribe to More Than Small Talk on your favorite app so you won't ever miss an episode.